Welcome to the final month of the season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway as we enter September. And remember Bonssa Tufa a week ago, how we were saying that there was a chill in the air to end the month of August and we would need our hoodies on Friday nights?
That was a long time ago, it seems, because there's no chill this week. It is hot. Temperatures, are they in the 90s?
They are. We are in a heat wave.
Yes, it feels like it's over 90, if not 100. You would think it's still July, but yes, we are in September. It's the final month of the season, as you mentioned, which means, well, we got a lot on tap tomorrow because we have Mayberry Material Handling Back to School Kids Night, we have First Responders Night, and then we have one of the biggest events of the year for the SK Modifieds in the TC13 Shootout.
So double the dose of modified action for the SK drivers, or at least 13 of them come tomorrow night. Let's talk about the SK Modifieds and a brand new winner to that division a week ago.
RJ Marcotte, 17 years old, gets his first SK Modified win in dominant fashion. He took the lead fairly early from Tyler Hines, and he must have won by 3 to 4 seconds. I mean, it was a big gap. The race went green to checker, but that 5 car, he has said it himself, it's been fast all year, just had to find luck. What better luck than winning the race? He gets his first SK Modified win ever. A huge boost of momentum for that team to close out the year. We'll see if they can keep that up. In the big picture, Todd Owen had to start back in 14th. Without the aid of a caution, still got second spot.
And still continues to lead the championship standings. But he's doing everything that he didn't want to do when he talked to us at the beginning of the year. He wanted to win races and not worry about points. And here he is with limited wins, but the consistency that has won him the last 2 championships.
It's hard to get 5 top 10s in a row in the SK Modifieds. How about 30? 30 in a row in the top 10 department for Todd Owen in the SKs is quite an incredible stat. That goes back to the 4th or 5th race of the year last season. He's doing what he's got to do in the big picture. As much as he says he's not near as stressed out about the title like he was the previous 2 years. He has that one win. It was the SK 5K, but he still has 4 more events to get it done and return to victory lane.
And the TC13, Mike Christopher Jr., the defending winner of that race, he'll be in action as well on Friday night. In the late models, it was Adam Gray picking up the win, his first extra distance race by winning the Paradiso Insurance 50-lapper.
Better late than never, I guess.
That's right.
Second win of the year, which is kind of hard to fathom considering how good that 97 has been throughout the season, but it's his first trip to victory lane since back in late May. So it's been a while, but that 97 has had speed, just hadn't had the luck. A couple of times during the last 5-6 laps of that race last week, it got a little hairy for our leader, Adam Gray. He got hit a couple times in the left rear, kept it straight. The contact with Andrew Durand and Michael Ray with 7 laps to go while battling for the lead. It was hairy, but in the end, Gray got it done. His first long-distance win. He does have a semi-long distance win, a 35-lapper, but 50 laps is a whole different story. So Adam got it done. Kevin Gambacorta, though, was fast. We saw him come to life in that long run, reel in the top 3 before that caution came out for Durant spinning while leading. Then he points raced, which he says he doesn't like to do, but in the big picture, he still has the point lead. Plus, Tom Fern had problems with a flat tire.
And he was able to add on to his championship point lead a week ago in that 50-lapper for Kevin Gambacorta. One driver making his way into being a title contender is George Bissett Jr. in the SK Lights, was 50 points behind? Over 50 points behind about a month or so ago, but 3 wins in the last 4 races have put him now within 2 of Brian Sullivan.
George is just on a tear. There's no other way to put it. I mean, that team has just been hitting on it. They've been on their stride for the past 2 months. And so far, nobody has been really able to stop them. It wasn't the prettiest of wins, though, because when you look back on the video, he and Alex Pearl made contact going into turn 1. And if things were a little bit different in terms of how they touched, it could have ended with both cars out of the race. So it was a little bit hairy, but Bissett got by Pearl. Those two had a great battle afterwards. They were side by side for 3 or 4 laps in a row, crossing each other over. The Mad Pup got it done, though, got on top. Pearl got another second-place run. He's so close to that first win of the year. Brian Sullivan finishes 4th, so he loses 6 points in the battle. Now he's 2 ahead of Bissett. But I tell you what, Bissett is one of the most aggressive drivers on the track in this division. It's gotten him to where he is now. He's won a lot of races, but he's also found a little bit of trouble. It's gotten to the point now late in the year, you can't afford a bad night. Bissett's not going to change his driving style, but he takes more risks than Sullivan. Those risks have paid off for now, but if one thing changes when he takes one of those risks, that can turn everything upside down.
The only driver that's been able to stop him in the last 4 races, Meg Fuller, who just squeaked out that first win a couple weeks ago over George Bissett Jr. In the limited late models, we were talking a week ago, 4 drivers in the run for the championship. I think that's been split in half after last week's feature.
Yeah, we kind of jinxed Rich Hammond hardcore there, didn't we? Yeah, sorry, Rich. Lap 2 gets caught up in a backstretch pileup, heavily damages the right side of his car, takes him out of the race. And then Kevin Cormier hit the wall in the front stretch. 1 lap later, something in the rear end let go, and he slammed the safer barrier in turn 3. It shook the production trailer behind turn 4. That's how hard he hit. But he's fine, but both of them out of the championship battle, in my opinion. But anything can change. Matt Clement, though, he's very much in it. He gets his 4th win of the year. He got past Mike Hopkins, who, by the way, makes his return for the first time in over a year and a half, starts in the back, and finishes second to Clement. That 59 team, it's the best they've looked in 4 years, since 2019, and they're just under 15 points behind Lavoie. Plenty of time to gain 4 points here, 6 points here, 4 more here in the final 3 weeks. Clement just needs to stay ahead of Lavoie, which is easier said than done. Lavoie had one of his better runs in the recent weeks, but Lavoie still needs a little bit more to stay up front throughout the feature.
14 points separating the top 2 coming into this Friday night, Lavoie over Clement. In the street stocks, another Waterman Haidar battle right at the front of the field and right down to the checkered flag on the final lap.
Yeah, Haidar gets the win. A little tap from behind from Waterman the final 2 corners, but Haidar closed that bottom off and said, "You're not getting underneath me this time." So Haidar gets the win, but Waterman, I know he wants to win. He wants to get the most wins in the street stock / dare stock era, which is 8. He's got 6, came close to number 7 last week. He wants to break that mark and get the title. Just came a little bit short, although that 31 car was fast. Those 2 have been fast all year. But Waterman still has the point lead, only lost 2 points in that situation because he was 1 spot behind Haidar. That's what Waterman has to do in these last 3 weeks. Stay right with that 11 car like they have all season long. If he can keep that up, that title is his. But we've seen both these drivers have different obstacles throughout the race, throughout the season, wrecks, black flags, anything that sets them back. And each time they've normally found their way back to the front. We'll see if they can keep that going.
12 points between Waterman and Haidar. 1 misstep by that 31 team, and no doubt the 11 car will be there looking for their 2nd consecutive championship in the street stocks. It's a warm one. Can't wait for a full night of competition, including, like you mentioned earlier, kids on big wheels for the final time this season.
And we had a lot of them the last time they were out here on the front stretch. We had to have 2 races because of it. Very competitive kids. Maybe it's the start of something to come in the future, who knows? But it's fun to see these little 5 to 7-year-olds find out who wins at the checker flag. We have one kid who's won the last 3 in a row, I think. We'll see if somebody else can stop him.
Part of Mayberry Material Handling Kids Night, First Responders Night, and the TC13 spotlighting for the SK Modifieds. It all begins at 6 o'clock here at Stafford Motor Speedway. And if you can't be here in person, you can tune us in on flowracing.com.